Australia. In Australia, the commercial import of used motor vehicles is significantly regulated and restricted by the Department of Infrastructure. 69. The allowed imports are limited to what are called special and enthusiast vehicles, SEVs, or cars manufactured 25 years ago and older, with the introduction of the 1. All vehicles imported into Australia must also be listed on the Register of Approved Vehicles. 70. Limitations of vehicles manufactured after the 1st of January 1989 was to ensure compliance with the regulations governing safety of vehicles on Australian roads that came into force on this date. 71. Until the present regulations entered force at the start of 2004, cars over 15 years old could be imported, and would need to gain a vehicle inspection in Australia, needed for registration transfer in many states anyway, and often safety modifications to ensure that they met with regulations that would have been in force at the time of their manufacture. 72. To bring a special or enthusiast vehicle into Australia, the importer must either apply to have the car added to the CEFS register, or import a car already listed on the register. 73. Can you import JDM cars to Australia? Any new vehicle brought into Australia needs to meet the requirements of the Motor Vehicle Standards Act 1989 before it can be registered. So, as soon as your imported car from Japan has gone through compliance, you can pick it up from our compliance team in Epping, Melbourne. Vehicles can also be imported to Australia under what is known as a type approval. 74. This is generally used by remanufacturing companies who wish to import a vehicle that is commercially sold overseas and remanufactured for use in Australia. Examples of vehicles such as this are the Chevrolet Camaro, the Ram family of trucks, and the Ford F-Series. Grey imports can pose considerable challenges due to Australia using left-hand traffic as opposed to the more common right-hand traffic. How to import JDM to Australia. Here's the steps you'll need to take to import your car from Japan to Australia. Step 1. Apply to import the vehicle. Step 2. Wait for approval. Step 3. Arrange shipping. Step 4. Get clearance from Australian Customs. Step 5. Pass Australian quarantine. Step 6. Meet approval conditions, if needed. This means that vehicles produced for compliance in a country that uses right-hand traffic would need a number of modifications to be compliant with the Australian design rules. 71. These modifications must be compliant with the Vehicle Standards Bulletin 14. 75. Primarily the components that relate to suspension and steering. 76. And lighting. 77. Vehicles imported into Australia must be complied by a registered automotive workshop. 78. For use on the roads in Australia. This is different to a regular workshop as detailed in the Vehicle Inspection in Australia article, where a regular automotive workshop can be authorised to conduct vehicle safety inspections in most states. External territories. This section is written like a manual or guidebook. Please help rewrite this section from a descriptive, neutral point of view, and remove advice or instruction. January 2023. Learn how and when to remove this template message. Australia's external territories include Christmas Island, the Cocos, Keeling Islands and Norfolk Island. You do not need to obtain an approval under the RVS legislation to import a road vehicle into an external Australian territory. However, you do need to obtain an approval to import a road vehicle into Australia from an Australian external territory. 79.